tackle the day ahead.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Shall we get underway?
Is everyone all right? More marks of the dragon's fury. It's...
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support.
It is about time we pressed on, wouldn't you say, Master?
We have found a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Let my magic grant you an elemental rune.
Naught compares to the thrill of victory. One cannot help but feel indomitable.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
I must hold fast.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say. If we mastered that attack, we would be invincible.
Tis a glad thing we rested.
We must not let down our guard. You have my protection. I grant you roaring flame.
Mayhap you'll think this a trifle, but oft do we call on you to carry the burdens we...
I dare say the cart shan't be traversing this. Onward! It might await us on the road ahead.
My magics are at your disposal. thinks the fiend felt that. Perhaps a few more for good measure.
One of our number is unconscious.
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look.
Come to think of it,
Different masters favor different pawns.
one whom I served preferred to have beastrons for allies.
Each to their own.
Just yonder. Looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
No harm in picking a few.
What's this? We're trapped. Fie! A Cyclops! To think we'd encounter one here of all the places.
The Cyclops! Pray, feel your God. Our foe has been thrown off balance.
Don't let the time. Try.
Strike fast! Our body shall fall.
I grant you Lion Lane. Use it well.
I'm intent to save the hell, but will overwhelm our beloved after.
Well done.
It is a foe worthy of leadership. Not save our best.
Now I understand.
Seems we've worn out our pose. We're not trying to miss a moment. Seize the brute's arm and bring it crashing down. I could use some help.
All together now. We attack the fort.
Strike fast and true, and our quarry shall fall.
It is enough.
Time we make the capital the vermin ground.
You have my gratitude, sir. Twould seem I misjudged you. I had taken you for another false arisen. Goodness knows we see a lot of them. Yet the value you showed in coming to our aid has dispelled such thoughts. Here, take this, as a mark of my trust. Give it to one of the sentinels stationed at the gates to the capital, and you'll be granted an order. You're free to make your own way to the capital now. I see no need to keep you under constant watch, and I'm sure you'll breathe a little easier as well, aye? Of course, if you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. 'Tis your decision. Well now. The road's blocked. The cart can't get through like this. A powerful current ought to set this rock to crumbling, if we could summon one.
There ought not to be water here. I've an ill feeling about this.
Ah, here's the cart now. Do you intend to join us? Very well. Board the ox cart and we'll be off.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
Fewer monsters are to be found on the main road, though carts travel only by the sun's light.
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself. Tis a remarkable treasure we found.
A fitting reward for a rigorous search.
If you see aught untoward,
Goblins! What rotten luck! We've need of your aid.
I'll not stand Let my magics grant you an elemental being.
call on me if there's aught I can aid you with.
I train every day.
Seems we drove them off. You've my thanks for aiding us. Vernworth isn't far from here. Will you join? All right. Into the ox cart then.
was informed of your coming, would-be Arisen.
Captain Brandt, this individual summoned a pawn through a rift stone. Several witnesses can attest to it. Though I admit I had my doubts at first. 'Twould seem this is no mere deceiver.
This one's not a bad sort. Saved our hides on the way here.
As decreed by the great will of our world, there can only be one Arisen. That Arisen now resides within the palace. Indeed, he is our sovereign and the rightful. It follows, therefore, that this ruffian before us is naught but a pretender. You must submit to questioning. If you value your life, you will not attempt to flee. I shall conduct the interrogation myself. Stand watch outside. I beg your forgiveness for my insolence, Your Majesty. If the Queen Regent had learned of your existence, I fear your life would have been in peril. I had no choice but to treat you as a pretender, lest my actions draw suspicion from watchful eyes. Then you have truly lost your memory? In that case, mayhap I ought to explain the situation before we proceed. You, and no other, are the Sovereign, the only legitimate ruler of this kingdom. Some days past, you confronted the dragon in the village of Melv, whereupon you became Arisen. The people rejoiced, for our true liege had finally appeared, yet not all celebrated your coming. Your arrival would have robbed the Queen Regent Disa of everything. During the time of the previous consul, she acted as a queen in her own right, ruling the palace as she saw fit. And just after the consul's passing, when 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found. To Disa, Your Majesty's very existence is naught but an obstacle to her own family's continued prosperity. The assassination of the Arisen is an impossible feat for mortal hands. Thus, Disa chose to abduct Your Majesty while you recovered from your wounds, in order to rob you of your memory with a fell curse and sell you to Batal as a slave. Following that, she prepared a replacement to serve as the Sovereign in your stead, a mere puppet. However, with Your Majesty returned, I have no intention of twiddling my thumbs as Disa plays her games. I shall devise some plans to further our cause. Pray. This one's cleared of all suspicion, and has my permission to remain in the capital.
Pray forgive me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Consign it! Get back here! You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap run past just now? Can you tell me which way he went? Many thanks. I'll catch that wretch yet.
You're a kind one, aren't you? 'Twould seem I am in your debt. In fact, there's aught I would ask of you if you've the time to spare.
Aha! There you are!
Oh, apologies, but our chat will have to wait. Till...
Really now? You mustn't shirk your duty, lest you forget 'tis the Arisen we serve here. This might be worth a read.
Shall we take a closer look?
Greetings. Welcome to the Guild Hall. Here, we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with, simply say the word. Forgive me, but I'm afraid we are not accepting registration for warriors or sorcerers at this time. You see, as we currently have no archer staves or great swords on hand, we are unable to have, and we cannot simply purchase more, as the delivery of arms intended for the local armory and other guilds in this domain was plundered by goblins. So regrettably, I cannot assist you, unless you were to procure a weapon yourself, that is. Let me see. What else can I tell you of our guild? Certain vocations are unavailable at present, save to applicants who already possess the requisite equipment. Let me see. What else can I tell you of our guild? Methinks Roderick will be able to tell you aught of the stolen shipment. He runs the local armory, and we purchase almost all of our— May fortune smile upon you, sir.
Whence might we procure such a thing?
What about you? Well met. You are come to Shakir's Inn, a place of respite for the weary traveller. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all Vernworth. Much obliged. This inspires naught but misgivings.
You wish me to return? At once, master.
What about you? Well met. You are come to You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all Vernworth. There's trade to be had in times both fair and fell. Much obliged. The rules at your left.
There's a ladder here. Weapons are simple enough to procure if we've the coin. But we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests.
You have my support.
A chance to put my feet up is as welcome as fine ale.
Myself off on the walk around town.
Lots to do.
Off to market I go.
Well met, sir. That's taking up today. Got nothing to fear. Well met, sir.
Say, you've got a decent arm on you. No need to be humble. Just the other day, I watched you fell a massive monster. Pray, sir. I'm after an instructor, see, but the ones in this city are cravens all. The sort that decided to teach to avoid the battlefield. If I'm to grow stronger, I need to learn from someone who's seen actual battle. A real warrior, such as yourself. Won't you give me a chance? And this Baron fellow, he's a real warrior? I suppose you wouldn't recommend him if he wasn't. And after all, I've seen your prowess. I'm inclined to trust your judgment. Many thanks, sir. Methinks I'll seek out this Baron and see what he can teach me.
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
Indeed. Tell is, there's been a shift in the chain of command.
Mayhap I'll set out on my own adventures.
any loose coin about? So tired.
Not a care in the world.
My
Just
back
as
isn't
it
what
should
it used to be.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
Living's hard, but dreams are free,
Now there's a worthy prize, if only 'tweren't so far away.
Well met, sir. Forgive my presumption, but were you the one who gave my granddaughter that I thought so! She's not that girl's always running off on some fool's errand or other. For all my chiding. Now listen, 'tisn't much, but
Nice to see you again.
Oh, yes? I possess no ill intent, I assure you. I merely wished for a closer look at these bows. Those of other races differ so in design from our own, you see. I cannot deny I am curious about them. That's all 'tis, mind, curiosity. I have no desire to actually own one of these contraptions myself, and even if I did, it isn't as if I could purchase one. It would be no matter how they fascinate me, it isn't to be.
This is for you. What do you think?
Hoi, friend. Klaus sent word that you've agreed to rescue some of my pilfered equipment. I'd be grateful for aught you can reclaim, truly. Fair warning. Goblins are behind these ox cart raids, I've since learned. No doubt they're hoarding the stolen arms in their den. From the tell of it, their lair lies somewhere along the western road. Pray do be careful. If aught were to go awry, 'twould weigh losing my wares for good would make me sore. But no sack of gold can compare to a fellow life, eh?
Our packs are heavier, and our purses.
These foreign bows do so intrigue me, but I shall admire them from afar. You would simply give this to me? Oh, that is most generous. I would gladly accept it. You have my gratitude. Fascinating. 'Tis not dissimilar from an elven bow in make, such as this bowstring. It looks quite the same, but the tension is all. Why do you stare? Perhaps you find... I suppose I sought inspiration. For I confess I find myself rather lost. The timing could not be more unwelcome, as my skill with a bow is to be put on trial. Forgive me. I should not expect you to know of our ways. Every elf undergoes this trial when they reach maturity. Till I have been training most diligently, yet my skills ne'er seem to take shape. Indeed, I fear my aim has only worsened with each new... I grew so vexed with myself that I sought to learn a foreign form of archery rather than master. Thanks to you, I now have the means to do so. It might be just what I need to find my aim. Please, many thanks. I'm indebted to you twofold. But this is no place to practice. Would you be so kind as to meet me by the ruins north of Trevo Mine? That's where I train, you see. I'll be able to concentrate on your display of bowmanship much better there. I do hope you'll join me. For now, I shall bid you farewell.
Might as well take a look while you're here, eh?
lots to be taken care of before the day's done.
Fancy a look at my wares? Need anything?
I'm not sure what to do with myself today. Times are hard. I'm barely scraping by.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
The world could use more places like this.
Living's hard, but dreams are free.
How might I be of service?
Lots to do.
What else needs doing?
Lots to do. My precious little time.
This ladder can take us to new heights.
We ought to put it to good use.
The Goblin's lair lies somewhere along the western road. I hope you can reclaim aught from the fiends. 'Twould bring me peace of mind to know someone taught them a lesson. Least.
Weapons are simple enough to procure if we've the coin. But we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests.
I quite agree.
I'll carefully conserve my strength and endeavor to Over many fierce battles was our bond forged.
I'll be your teeth, should your party lack for bite. Such is the warrior's lot. Tis a pleasure to meet you. Twill be an honor to serve by your side.
I've a knack for combining materials that I hope you'll find useful. The power of magic is replete.
Restoration and reinforcement are the purview of a mage.
The presence of a single mage can turn the tide of battle.
Restoration and reinforcement are the purview of a mage. If we share our strengths, we... A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it. 'Tis said there is an illness for...
Go on, have a look. Many thanks.
I quite like it here. It is generally used as a material. I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
This looks as good a place as any.
Well met, sir.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Ah, excellent find.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
Need anything?
Fancy it?
Weapons are simple enough to procure if we've the coin, but we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests. Right you are.
Interested in my wares?
Time to hit the sack. I might have what it is.
Where will the wind blow me today, I wonder?
Nothing wrong with filching for survival.
The rules at your neck.
Well met, son.
Welcome and well met. Don't think I've forgotten your discount now. Business could be better, but I'm scraping by. Do come again.
No purchases to be made today, I see. I just hope the shopkeep understands.
The Arisen is ever prudent in the application of coin.
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
There am I in search of new diversions.
Wish I could go on an adventure.
Would that I could spend all day here.
your name?
Wouldn't say no to a bit of excitement. No talent. There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
Stomach's complaining. I'll have an early supper. Got to press on. There's much needs doing. Same as the one afore. Weapons are simple enough to procure if we have the coin. But we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests.
Right you are.
Wonder what's going on in school. Might go and see.
Blessed be we serve.
If I could, I'd never...
Good day, sir.
For one day.
One day, I'm going to have
Lots to do.
I've yet to visit.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Oh, excellent find.
A profitable endeavor. Weapons are simple enough to procure if we have the coin. But we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests.
I quite agree.
I could see myself.
More to look forward to, but a long day of work.
Ah, now here's a surprise.
A splendid discovery.
Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
Wonder what's going on inside.
Time to hit the sack.
Might go and see.
Been hyped up since this.
Good evening, sir. I trust you fared all right. Right on the roads, despite the hour. Much obliged. I fear I've no wisdom to offer. Peruse at your leisure. Weary at this hour, sir? You must have... quite a tale to tell. You know where to find me. Peruse at your leisure.
Days like this make me glad to be alive.
Nothing wrong with filching for survival.
I've been here so long, I almost forgot what I came. Used to anymore. Peruse at your leisure.
Haste makes waste, as they say.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
Some might find cleaning tedious.
If I could, I'd never leave. If our destination is a distant one, travel by ox cart might be worth considering. Walking everywhere is certainly tiring.
Suppose I could
Working
visit
this
someplace
field,
and
all I know, I'm not stopping.
try all I might. I can't get the salt off my skin.
Weapons are simple enough to procure if we have the coin. But we might be lucky enough to find some in treasure chests.
You have my support.
It's been a hard day.
As if I don't have enough to do. I wonder how long this job is supposed to last. Suppose I'd best get to work.
What to do?
All this quiet makes me come more anxious.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs.
I can't wait to see what the day holds.
Peruse at your leisure.
What a racket.
That's naught but frying late.
mood for a song,
Working this field.
Where will the wind blow me today, I wonder?
Do stop and have a look. I've wares of every ilk. How can I get more customers to shop here?
Wonder what's going on in town.
This looks as good a place as any.
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller.
How are things?